You here? Okay, okay. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, cool. That's what I deserve that, to be honest. I haven't streamed in fucking 3 months.
That's all good.
Okay.
Should be.
Well, doesn't
Shortly.
change anything. I'm here to flame people.
No
That's my
worries.
purpose. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm gonna post into fucking thingies. Okay, we started. Okay.
Grand. So finally, we get through these hiccups, and we are into game one here between Team Squavo and Team Arcane in the very last series of Group B. I am joined, of course, by Blank, who was initially going to be streaming the game, but unfortunately we had some audio issues, so kind of switched over to here. Blank, how you doing, my dude?
Yeah, pretty good. Excited to get back into casting after so long, and excited to see these two teams as they're quite a bit gaps in quite a few roles, but overall it evens out really nicely, I think, and it could be anyone's game at this point, given that it's the final game of the groups, and this game decides what we're gonna have as the case, because whoever wins this, if any of these teams win, so 2-0, they get out of groups, and if they draw, they actually three-way tie with Sader's team for the final spot in the playoff, which will be really interesting. But getting into picks and bans, let's see what we have. Okay, so it's Oriana from Arcane, all standard. Curtis Rel gone. Jin from Garrett, or Horny Ghoul, should we say, also gone. Seraphine, Vi, Nasus. Squavo, big Nasus player. High is basically a Vi OTP. But Seraphine actually being taken away. I guess Bell Seraphine, the name is the Matrix might potentially play. It is a pretty good flex pick, but I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of banning Seraphine blue side, given that you could just get a B1 if
Yeah.
your team plays it. But if not, it's absolutely fine. And Hecarim coming in as B1.
Yeah, honestly, I think you kind of have to pick Seraphine if you're blue side, right? I think she's just way too good. In so many positions. Offers like obviously an obscene amount of healing with the Moonstock build, plus obviously the amount of crowd control you can throw down with the ulti, and the double proc of the E is just nutty. So does game your draft a little bit if you have to ban a blue side. Do you see the blind pick Yorick for Squavo. Throwing down the gauntlet honestly here against Patrick Pierce, who likely will have to just pick a tank into it, as kind of has been the case so far in the tournament. So Squavo not shy about showing this early. We'll see now. Like it is gankable by the Hecarim, but whether or not they can actually kind of pull it off, because if you don't, especially when he's level 6 right and he has the maiden, it's kind of very hard to kind of chase him down and kill him with just the amount of sustain he has. So we'll see if Witzel can make anything happen up there, but likely we're going to see him probably target other lanes instead and just hope Patrick Pierce can kind of hold her own. Yone blind picks as well. Man, a lot of
some very spicy picks, I'm not gonna lie. These picks are on point. They're terrible drafting, but it's spicy. It's spicy. I like it. So yeah, Yorick got through a few buffs this patch, letting him actually dive turrets without taking aggro's if his minions are the ones attacking the target. Kai'Sa still really strong, got nerfed this patch about for her ult. The cooldown went up, but it doesn't really make a lot of difference. Kai'Sa does a lot of damage, gets priority in most lanes. And yeah, Ornn, pretty good blind pick. Shauna or Patrick Pierce really likes to play that weak side.
Yep.
And Yone just being Yone is a really, really strong pick. But one thing that arises as a problem for blue team is the fact that there's a lot of AD damage, given that you're probably going to be taken. But Hornigo is a mage player for both lanes, so you could actually kind of go over, and then we see the brand already being targeted away from Hornigo.
Yep.
And I'm assuming Veigar ban is going to be coming through next.
Yeah,
so,
those are the champions he's shown so far when he's not been playing like the traditional ADCs. So definitely could look towards that. Obviously, Yone offers like a little bit of magic damage split, right, as well. So it's not like they're full AD, but it's still like very mostly AD in this case.
Yeah.
Seeing the Morgana picked away, so that has been a pick that both Belseraphine and Matrix have played. So it's a nice flex to kind of target away there.
One thing we haven't talked about a lot is this Nocturne coming in on R3. I haven't really seen him play a lot of Nocturne, but Nocturne right now, really strong pick.
Yep.
Some say he's a counter into Hecarim, but a lot of people have kind of been discovering the Hecarim counters in your Nocturnes and Kha'Zix, and even stuff like Kane can be okay. But yeah, Veigar, as we said, is the other pick that Hornigo plays bot lane as AP, and it's immediately taken away. So let's see what the last ban is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be like a mid laner. Yep, there's Diani taken away from Matrix, and now we're waiting. This should probably be mid laner, right? Because you know what the top side of the map looks like if you're red team, and you don't want to be showing support. And there's the Echo, as expected, the mid laner.
So that's fine. Leaving counterpick on support always pretty valuable, especially when you're pairing it with something that can go pretty aggressive in lane with Kai'Sa, right? If you can like get something that has like decent CC all in, like the Leona perhaps, or like the Nautilus, you cycle the passive and then she'll burst them very, very fast. So see what they end up answering with. Hornigo push down onto the Ezreal. Is going to be pretty rough. Counterpicked himself into the Kai'Sa to begin with. Doesn't scale particularly well at the moment. And then even like maybe you can argue like maybe he has a better time against Nocturne than most ADCs, but even then like it's going to feel pretty rough.
This is sin. This is a sin. If this gets locked in, this is a sin.
Curtis going to do it? Okay.
Thank you. This should have been trash in my opinion, but Alistair is fine as well.
I mean, so Alistair right now, honestly, probably just one of the strongest supports in the game. You're seeing it pop off a lot in pro play at the moment. Now, paired with Ezreal in particular, it's not like fantastic. And if they pick a mage here bot lane, they will set. Okay, so they're actually going to go for... They're still going to go for the kind of hard engage playmaking here with the set, which is pretty interesting. I haven't really played this matchup like set into Alistair though, so I'll be curious to see how this goes. But you do have to keep in mind, I think, the trading for Ezreal into Kai'Sa is not fantastic, so it feels like the 2v2 should be more in favor with Kai'Sa set. So they should have more of the bot lane pro, I would think. What do you reckon? So
the thing about this bot matchup is Kai'Sa obviously is a really good matchup into Ezreal. You can't really leave those two alone in bot lane because then Kai'Sa has permanent autonomy in lane, so she can do whatever she wants. The thing with Sett is this Alistar is pretty neutralized in lane, right? He can
Yeah.
never run in because if he does, Seth is just gonna stun him off his own minions, and then Kai'Sa just bursts him down to death. Seth's a champion that you can't burst early game because of his W. But yeah, I would expect Curtis. Like, this is what I mean, right? You know, Kai'Sa is always gonna be looking for these engaged type of supports who want to set her up for a passive, give her like a very strong possibility to dive people, all that stuff, right? So, and that single-handedly gets countered by Thresh, right? Which is why I was thinking Alistar. Sure, the argument is you picked Alistar away so the red team does not get Alistar with Kai'Sa, but Thresh would just be so much disengaged that it doesn't really matter. If you get Thresh, Yorick finds it pretty hard to play the game. There's like a lot of disengage there. Seth as well. Seth into Thresh, you really can't pick because Thresh is ranged, so he gets autonomy in lane. He can do all the stuff. And level 6, Seth can never run in because of the box. The Flay slows people as well. All of that stuff just gives Thresh so much autonomy in lane. I'm not a fan of Ezreal, as I've already voiced my dissatisfaction with it, as you lock it into the Kai'Sa, but if you're looking for answers, I think as a standard ADC, Jinx is absolutely fine to take.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go for the Alistar and you know that you're gonna do it, Samira is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
She is kind of coming back into the meta right now, especially with Kai'Sa getting nerfed. Samira kind of gets prio in the lane if you have Alistar, so
I'd say,
level 2 very deadly.
I'd say the biggest issue what he was probably considering was the Nocturne factor, right? Like if you lock in the Jinx, like you're such a juicy target for that Nocturne ulti all the time, and there's just so little you could do against them. So maybe that's my guess as what his thinking was for this Ezreal pick, is that, you know, even if Nocturne gets tough for you, maybe you can get away with the E, right? And then your Alistar can also help heal you a bit more. But either way, felt like he maybe didn't have the best of options to him at this point in the draft. But we will take just a short break, guys, as we wait for Spectator Relay to catch up, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Did you mute?
Grand, and we are in game straight into a
Welcome
pause.
to Irish League of Legends.
And obviously not unexpected, as is per usual.
Welcome to Irish League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen. We pause every series.
But yeah, I mean, nothing unexpected. Just taking a quick look at summoners across the board. Nothing kind of standing out to me too much.
Exhaust on Yone.
Exhaust on the Yone. Maybe expects a visit from the Nocturne, perhaps. It could be a juicy target, especially if he's like E'd forward, right? Then like he's kind of like almost a sitting duck for the Nocturne. And then obviously mixed damage coming in from Matrix and High with the Echo and Nocturne is going to be pretty hard to like itemize against. So he's definitely going to be a bit of a juicy target for High to kind of target So
Yeah. Coming in as I got a hefty message from Arcane just before the game started asking me what the Ezreal build is. So let's talk about that. As SS Reaver did get nerfed this patch,
yeah,
-10 AD and Triforce buffs along with it mean that Ezreal build right now is going to be mana immune into Triforce.
okay,
And bringing out that a bit different playstyle of Ezreal, which last patch it was kind of more assassin, where you just spam your Qs and try to one-shot people.
yeah,
Now though, you have a potential to be auto-attacking in between your spells, and that kind of brings out that old Ezreal that was played in last season.
yeah. Makes better
Other
use
than
of the
that,
Conqueror as well, right? Like you can,
exactly.
so like you kind of get the more sustained fights. That's kind of what this version of Israel tends to really like. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As we looks like we are about to come out of the pause.
Now let's see if junglers are gonna be smart about how they path. So thinking about the matchups, we know that this Yorick is gonna have permanent priority against the Ornn. That's just how it is. But you have a bit of an issue here because blue team has both drafted Ornn and Ezreal, which are both weak side champs mostly, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can make them strong side with good matchups, but Ornn into Yorick obviously losing for Ornn, and then you obviously have Ezreal into Kai'Sa losing for Ezreal. Now, one thing that you can get around by is the fact that this Alistar cannot do anything in lane, but that means he can move around the map.
Yep.
So if this Ezreal is never gonna die because it's set, it's not a support that can just easily engage with a Nautilus hook or something, right? So you have to actually get. So this Ezreal in theory should never die to this set, which means that this Alistar can move around the map.
Yeah,
which is really really good.
In theory, still kind of set right, maybe because like you can definitely
Yes.
look for plays in mid lane too, in particular.
Exactly.
So obviously, we'd like to see Bell Surfing match those drones if Curtis does go for it.
Yeah, and this is exactly where we talk about the problem of you are gonna have a bit of an issue because if both supports are to leave lane, Kai'Sa gets full autonomy in lane because she's Kai'Sa into Ezreal.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to like find your ability to do anything. So Kai'Sa can do basically whatever she wants. If she freezes Ezreal, it's kind of like chilling because he can break it with his Q's long range. But he can also get Dove on level 6, which is pretty rough, right?
So we have a bit of 5-man
spread
spread
on Ezreal as well.
Sorry, go ahead.
Tier start on Ezreal as well, which very interesting choice there for Horny Goo. The sides tier would be his starting item, which fair enough. Mana immune is the rush item, so as the sooner you get it stacked, the better.
Yeah, like he probably assumes that he's going to be sacking his lane a little bit regardless, right? So maybe he just wants to try hit that first item spike as quickly as possible. Obviously, Mana immune is not like the most expensive item in the world, so if you can kind of save a little bit of gold getting towards that, then makes his life possibly just a tad easier. Still going to be pretty rough for him regardless. As high. His level 2 looks like he's going to full clear his bot side jungle. And maybe he'll go for the scuttle after that, I'm not too sure. Hecarim is doing the same on his bot side, so it looks like
this is kind of the thing I wanted to point out. This Hecarim, I think, should have been pathing from top side towards bot. Because you know that this Ornn is never going to have prio over the Ornn. Whereas you can kind of cheat it, level 2 with Alistar. So you can move into the jungle, get wards, and like even just W the Nocturne away from Scuttle, just to really like, get it. So I think Hecarim pathing top lane here is a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, Matrix going quite low here, mid lane into Arcane's losing out these trades super early. We'll have to back and possibly even use his TP. Actually, opts to stay here, but is taking maybe a slight risk.
Man has corrupted bots, it's fine.
Yeah, let's see what's happening now. Obviously, Squavo having the priority in top lane here, force Patrick Pierce in. But so nothing too major happening so far. Like even in top lane with this kind of like wave push, it's not like Patrick Pierce is down a huge amount of CS just yet. Actually, can collect most of this wave. So things pretty calm so far. Matrix still getting traded out on. Doesn't have any of those corrupting pots left, so it has to play it a little cautiously.
Yeah, wave stacking bot lane as well, which is pretty nice for the side of Arcane team's bot lane.
Yeah, so high on the top scuttle here is going to be head on the XP here up against Hecarim actually did. Yeah, sorry, he is finishing that skill. That's fine. I thought he was possibly finishing for a gank, but has finished that off. Does get spotted out, and it looks like Witzel is just gonna go for his reset. So, as you said, like Hecarim's kind of full clear to his top, but he can't really do anything off that, especially now he's lost out in the scuttle trade. Means High can now go for the bot one.
Double scuttle.
Yeah.
Double scuttle.
So High's gonna be super far ahead already this early on into the game, and that's exactly what if you're the Hecarim, you kind of want to be the first one making plays, right, before the Nocturne hits 6 and has that big playmaking button just to blanket everything in the cover of night.
Well, the thing about both Hecarim and Nocturne, both are kind of like power farming junglers to level 6. They really spike on that level, right? So, but High getting double scuttle now means that he's gonna be quite happy. His bot side camps are back up again. He has Krogs up, so probably wants to get them at some point. Has permanent priority top lane, but it seems like mid lane's kind of already feeling that CS difference. Echo going down 16, 17 CS, like 18 even. So Arcane doing pretty well on that Yone, almost gonna take all 6-0 and fight bot lane.
Oh, Delserfine taking a lot of damage, but does still have the W shield to get through this, and ends up actually not landing the final punch as Horny Ghoul did just E out. So bit of trading bot lane, but doesn't end up meaning too much. Matrix here
Arcane
going
doesn't know
aggressive.
how to use his fucking E. Nice, amazing. Oh,
okay.
Wait, Arcane dies. Never mind, he doesn't. He exhausts.
Right, Horny Ghoul chasing down Barrel Surfing here. Does actually have a lot of kill pressure here.
Okay,
Barrel Surfing sees the W.
Wait, first blood mid lane. Arcane losing to Matrix.
Okay, a lot of
it's a Defi and the Mayfi.
Yeah, a lot of action happening across the board here. Kill in mid lane, 1v1, and then 2v2 kill down in the bot lane onto Belserfine, who got punished for being really aggressively out of position when she had no flash available to her. So definitely going to be feeling that one. And what should have been a winning 2v2 bot lane is now actually gotten Horny Ghoul quite a decent lead. He's got a kill up. He's up a few CS, and we'll have a pretty good back here.
I like how out of all of these matchups, none are going the way that they should be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how it is. Like,
top lane so far seems like the only one, but you'd expect this Yorick to have like a bit bigger CS lead over Ornn early on.
Yeah.
But I guess not. Empty Glitch now in a pretty rough spot, as this wave has to be crashed immediately, and Curtis having their own timer because he got the first load now, got the reset, looking forward to mid lane.
Yep, has some mobile boots too, so he's sprinting over here to mid lane as well. Although it looks like he's seeing that the wave's not really in an optimal space to look for a gank, so he's going to head back to bot lane. Make sure the Ezreal's not in too much trouble. Maybe looking for a flank gank.
Call from Curtis, kinds of double knock-up.
Managed to get the stun down as is chasing that into glitch with the ignite. Is constantly getting those odds-ins made for Horny Ghoul. Last hit does land the Q, and that is 2 kills now onto the Ezreal. And it's looking really rough now for Empty Glitch and Belserfine. Belserfine is trying to make the play. Curtis. Nice WQ combo to get the kill, but does trade his life for it. 1 for 2 though. I don't think he's going to be too upset about that.
Yeah, especially given the 1 kill already goes on to Ezreal. And as I said, that's the thing. Wave bottling was not good enough. Empty Glitch tried to shove it in without the mana, but had to shove it in. Didn't make it in time, and Curtis sees that the wave cannot be shoved. Goes in, finds the double knock-up, knows that Kai'Sa has no resources to fight back, and it's just a free double kill bot.
Yep. Now, the side of Team Squavo do have priority over this dragon here, so they may look to take it as well. As you can see, Hai's kind of getting in position to start it up, and Kai'Sa has just gone to bot lane, try to keep the wave shoved in, so try to keep Ezreal pinned back towards the start, and it looks like they are going to get themselves an early cloud dragon, which is not too shabby, all things considered. Curtis looking possibly for the roam here in mid, though. That's Matrix and Arcane. Oh, Curtis knocked him away. You hate to see it.
The parallel convergence. Matrix getting out with the murder there, almost like the positioning just not there. But there it is, the lane, bot lane, as we see it. 1v1, you leave it like that. Kai'Sa gets the autonomy, and there it is.
Yep.
High now, level 6 as well. Can't look to start moving with the ult, especially top if he wants to, because Patrick Purse not doing too well with the health department and is getting all in by Squav, but she isn't gonna go down just yet. Shauna almost dead, but not really.
Yep. So definitely taking a look across the map. If I were this Nocturne, I'd either look towards bot lane if there's a potential angle to like start putting Hornigold behind just a bit, or maybe continue trying to get your Echo ahead, right? Target the Yone. If Echo's already 2 kills up, which he's in a pretty decent position himself, right? If you can kind of continue to get kills through mid, perhaps you can open up the map a bit more and get the Echo roaming and start kind of moving disadvantage around. We'll see what he ends up doing though. Squavo continuing to build up the lead up here in top lane though. 20 CS up plus 2 plates is already pretty juiced.
Yeah, and just okay, that's a synergy wards in the fucking Pixel Bros actually. 2 pink wards, okay, amazing. Good stuff, guys. But as I wanted to say, I think supports may have swapped their rune pages or something, because this set has Aftershock and Alistar has Phase Rush when he should have Aftershock, in my opinion. So, this is a very interesting pass bot lane. I can't understand why Curtis went Phase Rush. Aftershock on set, again, same thing. It can work, but I don't think you need it when you're into Alistar.
Yeah, I think set plays way better with the Phase Rush or like the Omni Stone, right? If you want to have some like really kind of spicy plays. Aftershock, yeah, it doesn't make an awful lot of sense. You already have like a kind of damage reduction with your W shield. So I kind of prefer those kind of playmaking options you get with those kind of other options. Curtis with the Phase Rush, I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. You mostly take it when you're playing against double squishy bot lanes. So like say that you're facing Janna or like a Soraka.
Yeah.
So that you want to be chasing them, whereas like that set is not really going to be running away from you, but rather wants to fight you. So having that Aftershock.
Now Whistle is
great.
hiding here in bot lane, looking for the dive.
But Flash is there from. Oh my god.
Oh, chained into the fear. Set is going to ulti out. Hornigold's tanking the shot tower though. Does end up trading 1 for 2 in the end, and the set does get the shutdown. Not the worst, honestly, in the end for Team Arcane. With that shutdown going over to the support, but definitely not the cleanest of dives going here. There's going to be a trade for the Herald up here instead.
I think it's absolutely fine, actually. And look at the gold difference on the ADCs. It's already 1k.
Obviously, Hornigold will also appreciate, getting this plate gold that's going to go down too. But, honestly, not the worst in the end. It is barely a 1k gold lead here for Team Arcane as more trades going in here mid lane. Yeah, insta exhaust for Arcane onto Matrix is really threatened by this all-in potential by the Echo, who does have the ulti available here if Arcane wants to go aggressive.
My god, Arcane has to be the flash Q, there it is. I was about to say he's the only player who makes Yone with balance, but I guess not, he just did it.
Yeah.
And Turret goes out in top lane. Squavo getting 5 plates. Oh, the flash!
Squavo chasing him down.
Oh, but there's the Curtis into the save, but Kai comes with the ult, and it is, she wrote Nate, never mind. Meanwhile, in the bot lane.
Yeah, so bit of a dive coming through here. Hornigold running away from his own tower. I'm not sure about that one, to be honest. But he's actually kiting out pretty well so far. Oh, does get tagged though. Ulti available for Empty Glitch. Does end up taking him down eventually as they was looking dicey for a second for them. But ultimately they do get the kill onto Hornigold.
Arcane is up 30 CS, by the way. That is almost 2 kills worth of gold.
Yep.
We have the CS lead for Arcane. Decides to go into Shield Bow, which I guess, it's Yone. Fair enough. Let's see. Let me see some builds that I can flame.
So while you're doing that, I'm just going to take a quick look at the gold here. So it's nearly a 2k gold lead here for Squavo in top, even though he hasn't gotten any kills so far. Just getting all that plate gold alone, plus the bit of serious lead he's picked up, has done him really well so far. And in bot lane, the goal between the ADCs is actually relatively even, like barely 300 lead here for the Ezreal. As Matrix is looking to pick off Curtis here, but is going to just walk away. Nothing too much is going to happen there. But yeah, gold mostly even actually across the board here. It's really, the biggest difference really here is for the top lane.
Yeah, okay, let's see. So Bell Seraphine going for the locket, it seems, which I'm not a fan of. Obviously, Chem Tank much better on the set, as you just want to sprint at people and not care about anything else. Squav takes Divine Sunder. Not a fan of that either, actually. It kind of makes sense, I guess, into Ornn. But your job as Yorick is to split push 24/7, so I think Triforce, especially now that it's the passive of stacking AD applies onto turrets. For Yorick, I think it's much better.
Yeah.
But I see why he's going Thunder.
Yeah.
High with Pridebreaker, OP item. There's nothing else.
Aggressive blades onto Arcane is going to just go down to the Nocturne ulti. And as another kill going over to High, Arcane punished for his aggressive positioning against Matrix. And the Nocturne is like getting pretty juiced. Already has that stride breaker, and it's going to be scarier as the game goes on.
What do we think? What does this guy get? Is it Gelfos or is it Kraken? What do we think?
I think she should get Kraken.
Yes.
Because there are some tanky boys here. You got,
exactly.
You have Hecarim, you have Ornn, and you have Curtis on the Alistair. So you want to be able to cut them down as quickly as possible. Especially since, the rest of the team isn't necessarily the best at cutting down tanks, except, arguably the Echo, right? Like, even the Yorick to some extent, like you said, with the Divine Sunderer, but he's not exactly like, team fighting with the rest, so... Empty Glitch, hopefully going to get the Krakus there. And we do see some things come down into here, the bot lane, but they're just going to back off and look for the reset, so shouldn't be any threat there.
Wait, what do you even build in fucking Echo? I don't even know what you built. Protobelt, is it? Protobelt?
I mean, everyone and their mother seems to build Everfrosty Saves. I don't think that's what you do in Echo, obviously. So I'd imagine it's something like...
No.
Squavo locking down Podrick Pierce and running her down very very slowly. Does get the kill in the end, and the top lane dominance continues for Big Squav.
Top lane Kingdom coming in for Big Squav there. Yes, the kill.
You're gonna maul a little bit blank. Empty Glitch has gone for the Gale Force.
No. Oh my god. Nah.
Which is unfortunate, but it's still okay, right?
I mean, it's not there. It's not shieldable, but it's definitely not as optimal as Kraken would be.
Yeah, at least he's giving himself a way to maybe dodge out more CC, especially from Yone, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of argument. I still think Kraken is better. Now the real crime, sir, comes if he builds Gale for a second. Now that is where I will mold.
Yep.
This Ezreal, by the way, has more mana finished, 16 minutes in. Once he gets Triforce, this Ezreal is going to be an absolute menace at 2 items, because, as I said, Triforce won't make Ezreal a menace as he used to be at 2 items last season. Now it's back, thank God, because I hated the last build. And Arcane, I do not understand how he still does not have Shield Wall. Oh, he has Gold for it. I guess he's just sitting on it and decides not to recall when his most OP item is literally available.
Yeah. So, just taking
in other news, what do you think Squavo is building second? What's that page going into? I say Serx.
I'd imagine Serx, right? I can't imagine what else it would be building into when it's not a mythic. Or, not a mythic, that's correct. So, should be Serx, and I think Divine Sunder Serx gives him enough kind of innate tankiness in the side lane that he's going to be pretty hard to take down with all the sustain he'll probably have too.
I did want to point out, oh my god, okay, never mind, I'll hold that thought as El Seraphine goes in with the set.
Yeah, big playmaking coming in here. They're diving this Ultra and Turtle. It's really tanky though. I don't know if you want to keep changes to this, as it's not an easy target to take down. That's a lot of resources. Nocturne ulti, set flash, blown. Ornn ulti coming in though, looking for the re-engage. Trying to make picks. Nice! Yone ulti onto 3 targets. Doesn't have the damage though, it has to E back out. And ultimately, there's no deaths on either side. And I think, was the Herald even popped there as well and just taken down? There's a lot that happened in all one go, and ultimately, nothing really happened.
Now, I'm not a fan of this. 3 recalls, Dragons up in, 25 seconds? I mean, everyone's resetting. Oh my god, Garth. Oh no. So now this Ezreal is gonna be like 40% HP at the dragon fight, which you don't want to see. Not the most optimal thing to have, but he is Ezreal, so I suppose it's not terrible.
So there is mid pro here for Team Big Squav, but they've actually managed to get themselves into the river here for Arcane. So
let's get a counter of ults. Only Echo ult is available. Everything else is off. Flashes on 3 members of Team Arcane.
Oh, nice 3-man pull though from Curtis. Starts up the fight. As you said though, not a lot of ultis and tools here for either side. Horny Ghoul though, taking down some targets in the backline, but ends up going down himself, and the fight looks like it's going to be won out here by Team Big Squav as Empty Glitch is just unloading onto these tanky targets. Whistle though, trying his best to trade back on the Matrix. Does get the kill in the end, but will lose his life, and it's going to be a 4 for 3 in the end. And the dragon for Team Arcane.
Now,
so not so bad.
Let's talk about what happened there. First of all, both junglers don't have hands. How the fuck did Arcane get that dragon? I don't get it. It's fine though.
Yeah.
Arcane enjoying his 1-3 scoreline on Yone, making Yone look incredibly balanced. Probably the only player who can do that. But we wait for him to get Infinity Edge, I suppose, and then we'll see what happens from there. As we do get almost every mythic on the board, apart from Garrett, who has done more mana first, which is fair enough. Should have it in just about another 300 gold, I think. Yeah.
So it looks like he is building the Triforce components, but that can also go into a Divine Sunderer, if I'm correct.
Hardbound Axe builds into Triforce.
Just Triforce, grand. So he is going for the builds that you were hoping you would go for. Curtis, though, out of position, is getting chased down by Squav. Does just have enough juice in the tank to get away from that one, though. I was looking pretty dicey for a second. So we'll see now what Team Squav decide to do. It looks like they're signing a bit of a 1-3-1 here. Just sending York up the top lane, Echo to the bot lane. Both TPs available. They can look to start kind of trying to push in these sides and put pressure onto these targets. And obviously...
And I'm even more because Kaisa has a fucking Dirk.
I mean, he's just trying to hit that Q spike, but not necessarily a bit unfortunate timing. Maybe you would prefer to see him go towards the LDR, perhaps.
Yeah, I think LDR. So the way I build Kaisa, I've talked about this with Fuyu, which I know is not the best person to talk to since he games every game, but. He says Kraken into PD is the best build because it evolves both your E and Q on 2 items rather than 3.
Yep.
Which I kind of agree, it feels pretty nice, but you do want kind of LDR against this team. You do have the Alistar, the Ornn, and the Hecarim all kind of building the armor.
Yep.
So it would kind of be nice to get that Kraken and LDR as soon as possible, but we do decide to go into Gale Force for no reason, which kind of blows. But
yeah, so Gale Force into the Collector is what it looks like he's gone, which against the Squisher team comp I would be absolutely fine with. But as you said, a lot of beefy boys, Collector not having as much value in this instance here. So
I want to talk about my boy Big Squav because this guy has 2 full items. He has steel caps and he has always a high goes in.
Oh, ulti here onto Horny Ghoul, who just cannot do anything against this Nocturne. High will go down though 1 for 1 and gives over a shutdown to the Ezreal too, so a lot of gold going over there as Arcane ultis back in to get the pick on the position on the backside and gets himself a double kill for their troubles. So that's actually a very valuable trade in the end for Team Arcane. 3 kills for 1.
Hi, is griefing.
Oh, Squavo face checks into a bush is going to as Dano spams my stream with his DMs. Thank you, Dano. Much appreciated. Squavo is going to go down, though. Sooner or later. Shut down. Go into Ornn with the cheeky kill steal with the ulti in the end.
Shauna's sad enough. She's been terrorized in top lane for too long and now takes the kill with the Ornn ulti.
Yeah. So, not necessarily where you'd want the goal to go to, but, honestly, the play was just so free for Arcanes. They picked up a lot of gold off the back of that. Couple more kills here for Arcane himself. So they're going to be happy with that. That they've stalled out the game a bit because obviously You definitely want
You're scaling, yeah.
you definitely want Arcane and Horny Ghoul to scale a little bit more here. Only being on one spike. Arcane did just pick up the Infinity Edge, so is going to be doing a lot more damage now. Off the back of that, actually, does he have enough crit to get the IE passive? He would, yeah. Sorry, that's correct. Yeah. So
scales with 150.
Yeah.
So it's like anyway. High inted going on to Horny Ghoul because he had a big shot on himself where Horny Ghoul had nothing. And like even if you kill him, you die. So you trade more gold than you actually get onto the Nocturne. That's really worth. And then the fight after even goes worse as Arcane picks up 2 kills, bringing him back onto that Infinity Edge, which now is gonna hurt really, like it's gonna hurt like a lot.
Yep.
Both 4 flashes available for the side of Arcane's team. As Matrix is pushing top lane, but 3 flashes available from. So most people have flashes. Oh, and that's a big pulverize into the Yone ulti as it goes in.
Oh, absolutely.
Bell Seraphine is down. Squavo trying to run for his life, but Empty Glitch is not gonna make it either. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay,
Empty Glitch flashing and ulting now to get himself away, but Curtis is so fast with the phase rush. Has popped. Chem Tank also manages to catch him out in the end, and Witzel will get the kill. However, there is a top lane inhibitor traded for all of this. So, you know, Matrix doing his best to kind of keep pressure on the map somewhere for his team. And, you know, at the very least, it does look like Team Arcane can't capitalize off the back of that fight with a Baron just yet, although looks like they are going to start it now. It's just a little late, though, because there's going to be too many members of, I think, Team Squavo going to be available. TP available for Squavo, TP available for Matrix.
That is Matrix.
Matrix maybe went in a bit early.
Off coming in. This is fun.
Oh, Whistle's gone super low though. Squavo also here in the fight, trying to create some chaos in the back line. Arcane getting jumped by the two. Nice place by Matrix, who's kind of dancing around these fights and gets the shutdown onto Arcane. Really well done there. Curtis also getting chased down by Squavo, gets caught by the baby cage, and is just going to get beaten his head in with a fucking shovel. So, as Empty Glitch is going to pick up a kill here at the backside. Actually, it's going to go to high, looks like. And in fact, the fight goes the way of Big Squavo, and they're going to get themselves a Baron off the back of that.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, they'll say, bar the fact that Kaisa has 2 pots in her inventory to do absolutely nothing when it's 25 minutes into the game.
Look, we won't talk about it, okay? It's been a rough series so far for Empty Glitch, but honestly, like he's doing enough now. He's kind of putting in a decent amount of damage in these fights, and honestly, his team getting that fight there at a crucial moment was huge. Felt like a really big overstep from Team Arcane to kind of be in that Baron area when they hadn't gone for the resets off the back of that dragon fight, and they just didn't really have. They kind of just got split apart and really didn't have the tools to fight back.
I think it was fun. It's just that you went too late. So it's like they stuck around the bot lane. Arcane recalled to push top. You sent all your members to go for Baron, straight up. I think there was I'm not sure, but I think they waited a bit for to push lanes and stuff. Obviously, when you're on timer like that, you wanna go for Baron as soon as possible, get the objective, go back with your Baron recall. No one's ever gonna do anything to you, so it's but now it kind of all goes away since the fight was lost. Paranoia up for high, which is the prime thing that you want to be looking for once you have the Baron buff, since you can move your members around the map pretty fast.
Yep. So obviously it helps them a lot that they already have a lane of pressure in top with that inhibitor down. Got supers kind of pushing down there. Although they've all kind of clumped up here in the mid lane, which feels like a bit of a misuse of their Baron when you've got a really strong York that can just go to a side lane and just push that down. Feels like they're kind of itching for a fight that they don't necessarily have to take right now. So we'll see what ends up happening. The vision cleared out here by Team Arcane, that they're kind of holding fast here in mid lane. Honestly, just send your Yorks down their bot lane now. So they're trying to set up this properly and sync up the waves here up with top lane with the supers kind of pushing in. We'll see if they can kind of at least open up more of these kind of tier 2 turrets.
Arcane does not win this ever.
No, Squavo already getting some big hits in. Does force Arcane back.
Thornmail, Tabbies, and fucking Sterics. There's no way Arcane wins it ever.
Yep.
If he does not have that last whisper, he's not going to be
Oh.
winning the trades. And I think Arcane
Matrix
Go.
actually in the base right now with the Baron buff on these super minions is pushing right onto the Nexus turrets, and so there's no
Hold on.
response here from the blue side team now. Now they're heading towards him, but they've after leaving their mid lane open now as well, and they seem really indecisive on how they want to answer these waves.
Not a fan of the Tiamat on Ezreal, even though it's kind of default. Knowing that you're playing against Set and York, I think Seraldus gives you much more value as Ezreal, given that your spells can slow both of them. They don't have like hard dashes onto you, so it's only like they're walking at you really.
Honestly, it feels like he needs Grievous Wounds though, right? Because like you said, you mentioned like Set and York, they both have like a lot of healing, as well as like like Kai'Sa's gonna have like an okay amount on hers, so. Maybe a bit of Grievous Wounds wouldn't go amiss here, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, you already have Torn Mail on both top laners, which is kind of like acts as a bait since they aren't even getting hit. But I think
big combos coming in here though.
Oh my god.
Hunter Pierce misses the targets though that Curtis had knocked up, so we'll see if they can actually end up winning out this fight. As Whistle's here on the backline trying to trade back onto the support, and ultimately they end up getting completely wiped in the 5v5. Double TPs in the base, and that is going to be game 1 going over to Team Big Squavo in this very crucial series. Remember, if either side goes 2-0 in this group, they will just go straight through as the 3rd seed and eliminate the other one from this group. So pressure now on Team Arcane to come back and at least give themselves a hope of getting through from the group stage in the tiebreakers.
Bit of a mid gap, isn't it?
Yeah, mayhaps. We'll take a quick look here at the damage.
This is what we conclude of. Oh my god, Patrick Pearce doing less. Why is Alistair damage so high? I swear it got nerfed this patch, no?
Apparently not. Phase Rush, man. Doing a lot of damage.
My fucking god. Anyway, conclusions off of the series. 2 big winners in the series, right? Me, because I came back to casting after such a long time. And obviously, like in every Irish League of Legends game, Boris the shopkeeper. He's been winning it the most.
Yeah. So, honestly, I mean, even though we can question some of the builds, like, there's decent damage coming out from the ADCs, even, like, especially Horny Ghoul. We had a pretty decent series overall on the Ezreal. Was kind of getting off a lot of those shots in the fights. Had a pretty good lane phase with Curtis, having some really kind of clutch engages in the bot lane, into a lane that we were not really expecting them to win. So, Team Arcane definitely kind of showing some like positives that they can definitely work with in this game too. But we'll see if they end up kind of changing like how how they want to do the draft. Maybe they want to play more around the spot sides after we've kind of seen how they performed in game 1. Maybe it'll kind of set them up in a way kind of more for success. So we'll take a short break as teams get ready for game 2, guys. But we'll be back to you shortly.
And Crimson is not talking. Banger.
Okay, my mic was muted. Never mind. Squavo holding us hostage forever. Finally, lets us in.
Was holding us hostage in the lobby where we were putting some friendly messages across both teams and casters. As we get the first ban, it's going to be Rel against BGS Curtis. That is low standard so far. Nasus again taken away from Squav for all fairly standard. We're expecting Oriana and Jin to come through as well. There it is, Oriana. Could be a Yorick ban actually. Really big problem last game by banned away from high as well. But since Team Arcane are red side, you do kind of have to ban Seraphine.
Yep, for sure. So should see something else go through here for blue side. I'd imagine maybe something like the Hecarim perhaps for Witzel. Because, or actually no, you probably don't need to do that, right? Because you'll just
100% you ban Jin. You 100% ban Jin, no?
Well, yeah, it'll probably be the Jin, I'd say.
Goal, no? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So that's absolutely fine.
Is Seraphine gonna be banned? Because quite a few Seraphine enjoyers, including yourself, playing against me when you wouldn't want to face me. Wink, wink.
Look, it's a champion's OP. What can I say? But it is left open.
It is left open.
For first pick here, and it can be flexed into a number of positions, obviously mid ADC and support being obviously the primary ones. So we'll see now what Squavo ends up locking in. Are they just going to take the Hecarim away? They are going to take the Nocturne.
Nocturne B1. I already hate this draft, but sure, look. Okay, do Seraphine. If they do Seraphine Hecarim, the game's just over, no?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they kind of have to take it, right? Because you don't necessarily want to give the Seraphine over with this Nocturne. Because it's kind of a nutty combo in these team fights.
Is take an OP champion on AD or like spot.
Yeah.
So what you do is like take Seraphine plus take like an OP ADC or something, and then you know that you're getting a jungler guaranteed on or 3.
Yeah.
So you don't actually have to pick any like Nocturne here.
Yeah.
Unless you like wish to just go for straight counters, whereas Hecarim would then be like the most optimal pick here. But Seraphine gets locked in.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see now if they end up just trading jungler for jungle. They don't have to do that yet. Maybe they can get themselves something, as you said, kind of more high priority. Take that away from the blue side before it goes back to them. They are going to lock in the Shen.
Okay.
So
Seraphine is no, what a sin. What is I don't believe. I refuse to believe.
So I guess it's the denial of like the Shen Nocturne combo in a way, but I doubt it's going to be something that Squavo would play. So I'm not really sure why you picked that here, in all honesty.
I'm not saying that Seraphine is Karner, which is a sin, and I hope that's true. Caitlyn, what are we doing?
Sorry, the Seraphine's a Skarner.
Yeah, so apparently Seraphine is Karner.
Right, okay.
Which sounds like a sin. I don't believe it should be, but sure, I was told that way, so it's kind of. Anyway, why are we picking Caitlyn?
I don't know. I don't like that champion here, and I don't like it so blind either. It's going to feel pretty rough. The Darius pick in return, though. Squavo. Squavo entering full ego phase here is going to try run down this Shen with the Darius.
Squavo has been watching some Broken Blade in LEC over the fucking weekend or something. He's going balls deep on this Darius pick and wants to go straight after Padraig first. And what?
Okay.
I'm assuming that's Seraphine then?
I mean, maybe they'll message you with what the placeholder is, perhaps. But the lads are taking the piss a bit here in the Champ Select, as they do, by the way, to Morgana.
Okay, so Morgana is a huge ban.
Mm-hmm.
Makes absolutely, first of all, a really good pairing with Caitlyn. I don't like this Caitlyn, by the way. I think Caitlyn should have been Morgana, because Morgana makes life absolutely unplayable for Skarner. It is like it's so rough.
Yep.
Morgana, you spell shield Skarner, can't do anything. The route is already so long. It is such a good champion to counter Skarner, which is why I'm not a fan of Caitlyn being picked. Now, you've taken Morgana away. Caitlyn doesn't have a really good pairing now, because obviously Caitlyn Morgana is one of the strongest lanes in the game. So yeah, Karma being taken away as well. Don't really know why. I can kind of see it speeding up the Darius, which is like whatever, or like disengaging. So Karma could disengage with Mantra and E. I have no idea what's happening in the draft, by the way. Shauna said she doesn't know anything, so...
Right, so yeah, well, we're just going to take it at face value that Seraphine is actually Seraphine. So Seraphine, Shen, Skarner here for red side so far. The Viger and the Brand have been bound away against Hortigul once again, as well as his Jin. We did see him pick Ezreal last game and did have a decent performance on it, but maybe we'll see him on something a bit different here, like the Jinx perhaps. I think it's more likely what we'd want to see, right? Can do really well, especially if you want to try Kaido against way something like the Darius, and matches into Caitlyn pretty well. But they're going to pick Ezreal, and I hate it. Honestly.
Why are we picking Ezreal? Why? What's the Sensor gonna do? The Seraphine is not gonna run from the lane, so why are we picking Ezreal? Like, it does nothing.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this. We'll see now what Team Squavo end up rounding out their composition with in support and in mid lane. And it is going to be counter pick here, what looks like for mid lane for Arcane. So the team captain put a lot of kind of pressure on himself to kind of bring out the pick that will kind of get his team over the line. Leona picked up here to go with the Caitlyn in the spot lane. Obviously more hard engage, always pretty good. Leona pretty strong right now.
I'm not a fan of that.
I think it's okay. I think
no one would be a banger support there. Trash.
Sure.
In what way does Karnder get to play the game when you're playing against Lysandra Trash? Just tell me. What way is he gonna get to play the game?
Yeah, I think it's more of a case like you want something that can like kind of hard punish the Seraphine, right? Like the Leona, or kind of gives you more long range engage.
You already have a Caitlyn. You're already not throwing. You're poking.
Yeah, but I'm talking more about for kind of later fights and skirmishes, right?
Yeah,
and for gank setup. I think it just makes more sense for like, especially for this Nocturne, if you want to set him up for like bot lane dives and shit like that. I think the Leona is super juice for this. So we'll see.
Leona also pretty good in Ezreal because her E actually follows the Arcane Shift if it hits. So it's pretty nice combo, I guess. But
yeah. So it is going to be Seraphine support, and it is going to be a quirky mid. So Arcane get himself the scaling pick. So the comp from the side of Team Arcane feels a little disjointed. Because you have Shen, Skarner, Corki. Corki obviously just wants to play team fights from the back. Skarner wants to like run in and pick somebody, but it's not like you have a huge amount of burst. I guess you have a little bit, burst coming from the Corki, but not necessarily from the Ezreal. And as you said, it's going to be really hard for Skarner to get onto any of these picks. Like you said, really with Sandra. So it doesn't necessarily feel like they're all on the same page here.
Yes.
Whereas when we look at the side of Team Squavo, like you have Darius, who's going to be like really strong in the side lane against the Shen. The Nocturne can look to play off of that, as well as bot lane, where Caitlyn's Leona should also have a lot of kill threat with the all in. And even Lysandra, right? She has set up in mid lane against this Corki, so Hai has a good few options to kind of play off of if he's going to try and make some like kind of level 6 plays.
Now, both of these teams in team comps kind of look very grief to me.
Yeah.
Because what you have is... So, if you think about champions like Darius and Nocturne and Leona, right? All of these want to go in and just hard dive. Same with Shen and Skarner, right? These champs want to go in, right? So Shen with ult onto whoever tries to dive, you just dive with them, right? And then Skarner obviously just runs at people to drag them back. But you also have two disengaged champions. So you have Caitlyn with traps, and you have Lysandra with W and E and your fucking slows and whatever, right? And you have Ezreal, Corki, and Seraphine, who will also disengage, but Seraphine can engage with her ult. Now, you run into this. You run into this scenario, right? You have you have top jungle and support being dive champs to some extent. Seraphine can count as one because of her ult and her speed about her W. And you have a disengaging mid and ADC. So what do you do here? Like your three champs are gonna be running in, and then the two behind are just gonna be fair enough. Yeah, we can't keep up. Which imagine if this Caitlyn was like a Kaisa. Imagine if this Lysandra was an Echo or something. Like how nice are you feeling? Because it just all dive together.
Yeah, the Kaisa alone, I think. Yeah, as you said, the Kaisa for Caitlyn alone kind of makes the team a lot more cohesive in terms of like you're going to go for this dive heavy kind of composition. So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. We'll just go to a quick break. Just let spectator catch up, and we'll be back to you shortly. to game 2 between Team Squavo and Team Arcane. And it's all on the line for Arcane here. They have to get the win if they want to have a chance of playing through the tiebreakers to get into the quarterfinals. A loss here does mean Big Squavo will get themselves the 3rd seed in Group B, leaving Burn Post on 4th seed, and Seder and Arcane will be knocked out completely. So we'll see what ends up happening. There is a 5-man spread across the board. Blank, thoughts on how this early game is going to go?
Okay. Darius is gonna Goomba stomp this trend. It's just a champion that does that to almost every melee matchup in the game. Junglers, I'm gonna talk about a bit later when we cover the lanes. Mid lane is like you're kind of farming. There's not like a lot of action going on. Lysandra, I think, gets priority on because of her Q spam, being able to like spam Q up, but then Corki again can like get it. I think it's up to Arcane to play this well, because if you can dodge, if you know that Lysandra wants to shove the wave with your Q, if you just stand like outside of it a bit, it's a very short kill shot. So it shouldn't hit you in theory, and you're Corki, so you're AD champion who can like push the wave faster because you're AD. Bot side, again, I really hate Caitlyn, and I even more hate the fact that she has Fleet instead of Lethal Tempo.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting poked, sure, but like bot lane is all about compensating your support, right? Because they're like the more OP side of your lane, right?
Yep.
Seraphine, Desriel, very big poke lane, can actually get a lot of priority, but it depends. We have to like wait and see as to what the players are gonna do. Opposite side start for the junglers this time, as Skarner is gonna be pathing into his stronger side lane because the Shen can't do anything. So now it's the correct pathing. Now we have junglers recognizing which lanes are strong, which lanes can get prio, because we know Leona level 1 is not a champion, right?
Yep.
So in theory, the Seraphine and Ezreal should just like zone her off the wave and then get prio for the 3rd wave, make it crash, and then get cheater maybe, but doesn't see like that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Other thing is you could look towards bot lane too, right? Try to set a Caitlyn behind, because you know, if you make her lane phase pretty difficult, then she's not really a champion until she hits like 3 or 4 items at that point. So we'll see what Witzel ends up doing with the Skarner. And right now, just a bit of trading back and forth. Nothing major, too much happening. Seraphine was looking for the E in. Did whiff it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. This Caitlyn is a really weak champion when it comes to the fact that she has a really strong lane and a really, really strong late game, but the curve at which she drops in the mid game is so huge.
Yeah.
If you can like emphasize that even more by putting her behind, it is so rough for Caitlyn to play mid game.
Yep.
And just doesn't get to be a champion for like 2 or 3 items, and once only she gets like 4 or 5, then she can like actually start being Caitlyn against them. Yeah,
like she's really reliant on, you know, bullying out the wave, getting the shove in, getting early plates, getting the tower down as soon as possible, and then rotating to other lanes, right? And just constantly taking plates. Like, that's how you're supposed to play the Caitlyn. You rarely see that happen, though, because like, honestly, just a lot of champions just lane, like, decently enough into her, right? And it's especially when you've got the Leona into, like, a kind of a mage champion. Oh, Arcane! Really out of position here.
Covered by Witzel, though. He is there to help him out. Oh my god, the empty glitch, no!
Oh, slightly out of position there. Empty glitch trying to trade back, though, with the exhaust on him. Is going to slowly get chased down here, and Curtis is going to go down. Sorry, not Curtis. Seraphine.
No,
Ghoul, no, you greeted. Oh my lord. Why?
Oh my god, Horny Ghoul is a dirty inter, let it be known. Oh my lord.
Oh, that was so good for them.
Out. Oh my god. Welcome to Irish League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, all you ADCs are such dirty inters, my lord.
Hey.
No. I don't even want to hear it. Like, that was horrendous. So now you've given a kill to Caitlyn, who already had a lot of big CS lead. It's playing exactly into her hands. This is exactly what she wants. Yeah, it kind of sucks that Seraphine died there. But honestly, in a lane where, you know, your support kind of gets out-traded by the Seraphine, because, you know, you're just your melee tank, right? If you can still funnel the gold onto the Caitlyn, it's super, super valuable.
I think the biggest game before that, actually, the wave was really big, crashed into the turret. Why not just cheater? Why not get your like longsword or whatever you can get as the Ezreal? Like, it just it's really greedy to stay in that lane.
Yep.
And we saw in that team fight the fact that like both like in that lane, both Seraphine and Ezreal poke, but Caitlyn wants to poke back, but she can't because Leona is just not a poke champion. She wants to win.
Yep.
And it didn't work out as well. Like Corny Gold would get the kill there if he wasn't greeting for the turret. Like he was actually winning that trade really hard.
Yep.
Gets the kill on Bell Seraphine, Empty Glitch runs away to like 10 HP. And like he just greets under the turret, but you see that bot lane is winning trades because like they both are on the same page as champions. Both Ezreal and Seraphine want to poke their lane opponent, and you see it right here. Caitlyn getting poked out. Leona can't do anything about it. It's really hard.
Yep. And Anti-Glitch going to be chugging through those potions post haste, trying to keep himself at least somewhat healthy.
Leona in draft. Like you pick Caitlyn so early, it's a mistake, sure, but then you shouldn't be making more mistakes if you already made a mistake, right? Like syncing up your champion types in bot lane is so important, and you see it right here how like easy it is for Curtis and Horny Gold to play this lane because their champions are just synced up in what they want to do. Whereas like there's a lot of mishap in how Caitlyn and Leona want to play the lane that just makes it really difficult for them to do anything.
Yep. But so far, at least Caitlyn is able to get most of the CS and has managed to sustain herself just a bit. Does give an opening to Horny Gun, PGS Curtis to get some vision down into this river though. As they look like they're going to start leashing the dragon here for Witzel. They're going to try rush this down because they got a bit of prio in mid lane too from the Corki push.
You know what I'm surprised about? There is not a kill top and the CS is even. I'm really surprised about that.
Yeah, so far Patrick Pierce managing to survive the lane.
Or like be ahead like 10 or 20 CS. It's really interesting that like obviously we weren't looking top at all because the directly camera is just putting us all the action mid and bot. But like I really want to see what happens there because this Darius should not be even CS so far. But Leon goes in.
Engage in from Bell Seraphine onto Curtis. Does get the ignite down, but nothing more is going to happen there. So Summoner blown, but nothing ends up coming of it, and that is a means of aggression kind of blown there by Bell Seraphine. As the wave is slight. Oh, Patrick Pierce though, really out of position.
Goes for the paranoia.
Oh
my god, we're diving. Okay.
As Big Squavo was level 6 and was able to get the ulti off, is going to have enough health to survive as well. So has the wave frozen into him once also, so can kind of make a big punish here.
Yeah, I was about to say, I want to fan out the camp top lane to see what happens with the wave. It is going to freeze, but Squav is actually pushing it a mistake on his side. He's not going to be able to crash the next wave in time by the time Patrick Pierce can recall or TP to the wave, but she does decide not to. So Skarner is looking mid lane and might just go. He's not level 6 yet, which means High actually is quite ahead in levels, but there's the level 6 off the word.
Yep.
And yeah, nothing too much happening anymore.
So yeah, kind of same thing happened from last game, right? High's passing just a little bit better than Witzel. Is kind of getting himself early level leads and kind of making plays off the back of that. And it is going to net themselves a Herald in the end too. And honestly, like you said, like Patrick Pierce, since she didn't walk back to lane, in fact, she's recalled. Did she recall again? No, sorry, she's leashed from the Herald. That's what I'm saying. So she's actually not getting up to CS in top and hasn't been able to manipulate it in such a way that she could have punished Squavo's lack of manipulation that he did after the kill.
Oh boy, Arcane. Oh buddy. Why did he take the package?
I'm not sure. I guess maybe he thought.
The thing about Corki players who play high elo Corki, right? So Corki players like to keep their package for the dragons because it's like a really big zoning tool that can like provide a lot of like ability to fight and just brute force your fights in, even though your comp is behind. And Arcane just kind of picks it up and does nothing with it, so it's a bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he used it to get like a quick shove in on the wave in mid, but it's not really going to net them like a huge amount, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're Corki, you can do that anyway, right? You have your ult, you have your E, you have your Q, like, everything's AoE.
And it's not like he doesn't need to get prio for anything right now, right? Because Dragon and Herald are both down, so.
Exactly.
Yep, bit of misplay there from Arcane. We do see a bunch of things coming down here towards the bot side. They're trying to maybe stave off any potential dive coming here. But Arcane is going to get collapsed upon. Does get the blast cone out though, so should be relatively safe. And it's going to kind of just dissuade any dive potentially coming through here from the side of Team Big Squav.
Nice double Q from Garrett.
Wow.
Yep. So, there is a bit of CS lead developing up here in top lane now. After that dive with 20 CS lead here for Squavo, he's got Patrick Pierce pushed underneath her tower. Isn't going to be able to threaten anything too much right now, so it's just kind of gotten the shove in and looking for a bit of a roam down here. Try to get maybe a bit of vision for his team.
Yeah, Skarner are looking for a gank bot lane, but he's not actually going to be able to do anything. The Ample gets way too far to actually make something happen.
And he's spotted out by the war too, so just has to end up clearing
exactly.
it.
That's
So,
what I mean.
Like there's a ward, you have a Caitlyn, she can trap, she can net, she can do whatever she wants really.
yeah.
And the wave is like in such a good state that she doesn't like have to give up any minions. So.
Yeah, so Witzel definitely needing to start making something happen soon with the Skarner, or else his team's going to keep on falling behind, especially in this top lane, which is going to get dicier and dicier for the Shen as it goes on.
Well, that's the thing, right? I think blue team is the one on timer this game, to be honest. Like, you're scaling really hard with the Corki, with Ezreal as well over Caitlyn. Sure, she's gonna outscale in 5, but like in the mid game, you're mainly looking at Corki with 3 atoms and then Ezreal with 3 atoms as well, which is gonna be like stronger than Kate, right?
Yep.
So I think beautiful freeze top line, really really nice freeze. Now Patrick Pierce is in a lot of trouble. Like,
Yep,
no
and
flash,
she has no ward now in her Tribush either, so
Exactly.
she's going to be
no
terrified.
flash, no wards. You have to break this free somehow, otherwise you're gonna lose so much. This Darius is forced to do something in this lane, right? If this Darius went even with the Shen, Squad broke it. Oh no. Oh no. It could
Okay.
have been such like 50 CS gap off of that one freeze,
So-
but I guess not.
The only reason why I assume he's doing this is because there is a dragon coming up in 40 seconds, although he's gone
That
super
is
aggressive on
disgusting.
Patrick Pierce. The bleed is going down, but I think she is going to just barely survive it. Meanwhile, the dragon is picked up forward side of actually Team Arcane, as they managed to get the Prio in mid and the roam down from Corki to help them get that. So yeah, I guess they traded pressure for topside for this, but they're going to use a Herald bot lane. Bit of a dive coming through here with Witzel getting the.
So that
And Empty Glitch does go down. Belt Surfing not to be long for this world either. High coming in though, trying to trade back with the Strikebreaker proc. Is chasing down Horny Ghoul here, trying to get more kills, but will have to just run away. May end up giving up his own life, and that's a triple kill for Horny Ghoul on the Ezreal.
no, I'm really not. Oh my.
Oh,
God.
Matrix with the big flash ulti, but doesn't end up doing anything with it, honestly. I think maybe ulti is just a bit too early. Could have put down a lot more damage. And ultimately saved the turret, mayhaps. I don't even think he has, to be honest. No, actually, the Caitlyn Leon showed back here in time, so Horny Ghoul does actually have to just reset. But
I'm really not a big fan of Herald. It wasn't expiring. You put it like for the first 3 plates, so like you're not extending the laning phase.
oh, Squavo popping the ghost though, is going straight on to Patrick Pierce once again. Patrick Pierce does have the flash, is going to use it. Squavo using the flash is going to get the stacks down. Does not have the ulti to try go for the execute, and is just going to end up walking away. But he is thirsty for some kills up here.
Yeah, Squav kind of griefing that a bit. Knows that he has no Noxian Guillotine. Pops the ghost, pops the flash, and gets nothing out of it. Wave pushes into Patrick Pierce as well. Just not an optimal use of his summoner spells. Sure, you can if you use your ghost for flash, absolutely worth. But having flashed himself, not actually what you want to be looking for.
Yeah. Does have the attention for Witzel up here, though, is drawing a lot of jungle pressure towards him because Witzel cannot ignore just how fragile the Shen is at the moment. They are trying to chase Squav away, but honestly, he's not really in any danger here. Even if Witzel were to land the ulti, I think he's just pretty fine. So it's just wasting a lot of his time, and Kai's going to continue to farm ahead here. And has invaded onto. Actually, yeah, I'm just noticing. No, sorry, what I'm saying. They're on right sides. Just taking a quick look to see what these teams want to play for here. Arcane's constantly getting a shove in the mid lane. Has built up a bit of a lead himself here. 30 CS is going to be pretty scary on the Corki if he can kind of continue to farm like this.
So I think both teams have a very clear win condition as to what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, to get this Darius accelerating. He's getting quite a few plates mid, or top, should I say. Fights happen, so I'm going to shut up.
Oh, Bell Surfing has gone in, but it's taken a lot of damage, and the Surfing ulti does go down, but High, coming in like a rocket, is going to pick up 2 kills for himself and a shutdown onto Horny Ghoul. And he's going to be pretty happy with that. Bell Surfing going super low, but does not get picked up by the Corki in the end. Matrix looking for the play, though, with Empty Glitch ulti. Arcane is just going to Valkyrie away.
Yeah, I told Hai I was gonna flame him before the series started, and he said, "Well, I'm just gonna be making plays so you can't talk." And he's doing. He's actually just always making plays when I want to say something.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let's go back. So your win con is very clear. It's Darius and now Nocturne getting like 2 kills, being your primary win condition, and then for blue side is going to be Corki getting to that Mermana and Shield Bow, and then Ezreal obviously in the Triforce. So the job of red team is to try and never let this Darius get on top of the carries. Nocturne is fine. You can't really prevent him going on because it's paranoia. But if Darius can be stopped from going on to people, it's actually really good for the team. As the fight is starting again, so I actually can't even speak.
Yeah, Matrix took a lot of health damage there trying to get a pick onto Curtis. Going to end up having to back away off that, as there's going to be mid-pro acquired here from Team Arcane. Possibly looking to get themselves this mid-turret, as it is quite low, as they could just burst out here. And they've managed to quietly pick themselves up 2 turrets in the last couple of minutes, and they're going to start evening up the gold here between both teams. Barely a forward gold lead now for Team Squavo.
Yeah, Garrett's Mermana finished. Arcane looking towards it, not there yet. But as soon as he gets it, it's going to be quite a bit of poke coming up from those two. Yeah. Also having Seraphine to disengage for their team, and kind of Shen Witzel can play the disengaged role rather than the engaged one. So like, as it stands right now, it is blue team who has to run into the red team. Yep. And if you just realize that, and if your Skarner just realizes if he ults whoever dives onto your carries.
Oh, so Elster's gone super deep in, but it's taken down straight away as Curtis whiffs the Seraphine ulti. Matrix has gone deep though too, and is also going to go down. Squavo taken down also as well. They're just kind of going in one by one and getting kind of going through the meat grinder of the team composition. Horny Ghoul gets the pick off Empty Glitch at the back end, and that is going to be a huge fight for Team Arcane as they're going to get themselves the 3rd dragon of the series.
Okay, I want to say something that some people might have missed, right? The beauty of Arcane using his package and then Witzel ulting Squav and holding him in that package, like the burn zone, and then Ezreal ult hitting as well, dealt so much damage, Squav was unable to do anything there. Big thing about Skarner is the fact that he is basically a tax, like you have to pay your Skarner tax, right? The 1300 gold for the QSS, you absolutely need to get it. And because Squav didn't, he got ulted by
hang on.
Skarner.
Five going to break out here as Curtis is caught on a ward and is going to die for his trouble. Squavo picking up that kill. Isn't going to translate to too much as, you know, Baron's not available. The Herald was just picked up there, but kill going on to Darius. Definitely not what you want to be doing at this stage of the game. And if you want to continue on, what's your points?
Yeah, so just as we said, team fights are kind of playing out just as we kind of expected them to. Blue team is the one forced to go in, but as long as you're just peeling your Ezreal and your Corki, you're absolutely chilling as a red team. Because they have so much range over the blue team that they can just like stand in the back, hit them with your one great spells. You also have Seraphine with your ult, so you can commit at any time you want. You're the one dictating the pace of this fight. Whereas blue team has to kind of brute force their way in, find their flanks, get onto the carries in the best way possible, which isn't really happening. Like, even if Nocturne tries to dive onto the carries, Darius cannot be that fast since he does not have a paranoia. And Seraphine is there just peeling their carries, giving their shields, giving the heals from the Moonstone, and Corki and Ezreal are having the best time of their life.
Yeah, for sure. And we see a bit of a gold lead has developed for them to nearly 1k gold. And as you said, the scaling is definitely on their side with the Ezreal and the Corki. So having a gold lead at this stage in the game when they're just about hitting their 2 items is going to feel pretty good for Team Arcane. And they're already on the soul points. Like, they only need 1 more dragon and they're going to have the Infernal Soul, which is going to be super good for Ezreal and Corki in these fights. So it's a lot of pressure now on Team Squavo to try and deny that, as both teams are kind of grouped around the mid lane here, looking for the other team to kind of make a misstep and maybe make a punish.
Yeah, exactly. And just as we say, Paranoia comes down. Nocturne flash out of from Corny Goal, but does not actually hide, does not decide to actually go in, which, fair enough. Flash out of Lissandra, though, could be really, really big as a cooldown going down. A double ult, oh my god.
Oh, to Glitch having the flash out there. Matrix under turret is getting picked down. As the rest of the Team Big Squad are getting just run down here. The Darius not really able to do anything in these fights. Has not been able to get onto any kind of priority targets, and that is going to give them an opening now to look at this, at the Baron. And their Baron taking is pretty good here with Ezreal Corki. They're going to shred this pretty quickly. High is in the area, trying to sniff it out, but Arcane is just acting as a bodyguard here. Going to keep poking him out and just force him out of jungle.
Arcane never learns that he should be there with his team for the Baron, because guess what? Dragon is up in 1 minute 30, so if you don't take this Baron instantly, you lose tempo. And he decides the blue buff is more worth to try and poke down and doesn't even take it in the end.
Yeah.
My god.
I mean, maybe he's just doing it again. He doesn't want Arcane potentially going for the 50-50 steal, right? Or for high, rather, I should say. So if he's doing it just to zone him out, I think it's fine. But they do.
If you're gonna have someone do that, you probably do Seraphine, right? Just CC them.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Maybe you're not sure if the Nocturne ulti's down again or not. But it does mean that Team High have gotten here to the river first and are setting themselves up for a pick, perhaps. And in the step rushes, Matrix did go over the wall, did not land the CC onto the Corki. And as that Herald is popped up in top lane, Podrick Pierce is just kind of going for a kind of slow push up here, I guess.
Oh my god. That's half of empty glitches. HP gone from just WQ from Ezreal, yeah?
Oh, Horny Ghoul picked off though by Squavo. Does end up managing to Arcane shift away, and the follow-up Caitlyn ulti was blocked by BGS Curtis, so no damage there. And yeah, that's a few tools now used by Team Big Schwab, and that they're going to be lacking for this fight. As you got Baron push now in mid lane and a Herald Baron push up in top lane from the Shen.
I really
that's
like
going to be
that.
after
I really like
him.
that Herald top lane. Like,
yeah,
your Shen has ult, so he can. Magic Perks can join the fight anytime she wants, and she can just stay top, push the thing, and now just waiting for Dragon to be taken.
Yeah,
Blue team has to make a choice: either stop that Herald or get the Dragon, and they decide to stop it. But guess what? The soul is on, and now this Ezreal and Corki are gonna hurt.
Yep. That is a 4,000 gold lead plus Infernal Soul here for Team Arcane. As Arcane does get a bit of poke off, as a disgusting amount of damage on that Leona. And Corki continuing to throw out these.
Oh,
no, Arcane, that is so deep. But he's actually almost going to get the burn onto Squavo. And does get in the end as he's forced to run in because the Seraphine went for the flank. And that is huge. That is absolutely huge. That is 5v4 now with a Baron push for Team Arcane as they are looking to tie up this series. They are kind of going for the juggler right now. They're going to try to force themselves onto this inhibitor first. Witzel has flashed in. And he's kind of just getting peeled here by the CC from Matrix. But I don't think he really cares. As long as they can get this inhibitor, it's going to make their lives so much easier for trying to close out this game. They are going to go down through the bot lane here. They've got a bit of a wave here on the tier 2, so they're going to maybe try to get that as well. But this is a huge amount of gold going into their pockets.
Yeah, indeed, almost 6,000 gold lead at this point in the game. Look at that poke. That's just one rocket from Corki, and it does almost like what, a fifth of a Caitlyn's HP.
Yeah, like
it's so disgusting.
Yeah, the poke is absolutely nuts. Witzel is slowly running at the enemy team.
On the flank, though. Matrix on the flank.
Yeah, it does have the flank, does have the ulti, but kind of has lost the window to pull the trigger, right? Like, now they've just gotten 2 inhibitors for free. They can reset, spend the gold that they just got, which is quite a bit. And as we keep sailing, the scaling is really on the side of this Corki, this Ezreal, so giving them more space to buy their items. Not what you wanted. I definitely would have liked to see them at least try force the fight there, because it feels like they're in a bit of a losing position now.
Yeah, and as I said, I'm gonna say it again. A lot of losing to Boris the Shopkeeper. Not a single QSS on the side of Team Squavo, as this Karner just has so much value because of the potential for him to ult anyone is so scary that they have to respect it. And yeah, just stuff like that alone is just gonna cost you. Like Stormrazor, sure, you have Stormrazor and Caitlyn, which again I don't agree with. I think that should be probably Last Whisper or something. I don't know, but like you need to pay your tax. Skarner tax is real, and you need to pay it because next fight, Skarner grabs anyone, and they're absolutely dead.
Yep. So the Baron buff has worn off. There isn't going to be another objective for 1 minute 50, which is the Baron itself. There is this top lane inhibitor for Team Arcane to start targeting, as they've got 2 super waves coming in to mid and bot. They've got Podrick Pierce pushing down bot side here too, so looking to kind of keep up the pressure here in terms of the map control. And you're seeing them pinging that now. They're trying to get some vision here on top side, and they're going to start trying to push this final wave in and just kind of try to stretch Team Squavo as much as possible. So that maybe Doctor can have a good pick.
Lord.
Matrix, though, is getting burst out so hard from the Corki. Flashes out. High is going to go in. Does have to stopwatch to prevent himself from going down straight away, and does flash out. Nice ulti from the Leona. Prevents the follow-up damage, but Matrix still going down from the Corki poke. And are continuing to get chased down here. These bombs are going off continuously with these Infernal Soul procs, and they're just getting chunked out. There's nothing Squavo can do. He's getting picked up by Podrick Pierce. And it is looking like the end of the game. Scar ulti going through is going to be picking up Bel Seraphine. And it is just a matter of time. It is going to be a tied series 1-1. And we are going to tiebreakers between Seder, between Team Arcane and Team Squavo. It is still all to play for this 4th seed.
I want to point out before we go, directly Cam actually showed us. Curtis got like a 3-man ult on Seraphine that we didn't see, but I briefly saw in the corner of my eye on the minimap. Which definitely just stalled all the time, but like, yeah, team comms, draft wins games, and Boris the Shopkeeper, I think, is the biggest winner of this whole series, as a lot of people weren't really buying optimally.
Oh my lord.
Giraffes, oh my god. But yeah, exactly.
I need to show the audience at home. This is the damage graph from this game 2 here from Team Arcane.
Exactly what we talked about. You peel your Ezreal and Corki, and they're gonna do all the job for you. If they remain untouched, they will 2v8 this game. Curtis making sure that enemy divers cannot go onto his carries, and big credit to Podrick Pierce as well, tanking a lot of that, just buying time for her team to do job, right? And then obviously Witzel, some pretty good ults on that Skarner, but pretty much just compensated for the fact that no one paid the Skarner tax, and now you're just having 5 people, any one of them can get ulted, and you just look for any one of them. As long like whoever gets ulted by this Skarner, you can ult the Zarius, you can ult the Nocturne, you can even ult the Leona. They're gonna die to your carries because they're literally gonna get one shot.
Yep.
And the story says it in it. Like the damage graph says it all, really.
Yeah. So that is going to be a tied series, and as we were saying, that is going to be a three-way tie for the 4th seed. Only one can be victorious between Seder, between Arcane, and between Squavo. We'll have to see how that shakes out. I don't know the exact format of how that's going to happen. We'll have to work that out with Kerry. But I assume it's probably going to be like best of 1 round robin, something like that. We'll see how it goes, guys. But thank you so much for joining us here on the cast tonight. Thank you, Blank, for coming in as the color caster. And we shall talk to you guys next time. I'll leave you off with a raid, if you bear with me 1 moment there. We'll see who's available online.
Give it to Ty, I guess.
Give it to who?
Ty. Celtic Tiger.
Oh, Ty's online. Perfect. Grand. We'll send you over to him. But thank you guys for joining us, and we'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy.
Bye. What a series, Jesus Christ.